Since the dawn of time, man's been wondering how to answer this question, and I think that today we're going to try and get some answers. So, why do chick flicks suck? I am not saying that I hate all chick flicks or anything like that. And for one thing, you have to really figure out how to define what is a chick flick. What I'm saying is, today's chick flicks, or what we would call a chick flick, us being guys, why do we hate them? That's a basic question. I think the reason that a lot of guys hate them, I'm going to say first of all why guys hate them and then why critics hate them. I think the reason that most guys hate them is because they're so sappy. It's all about, claiming to define what love is when, it's just the same rehashed stuff, just put into different words. And guys, frankly, get sick of it. They see girls going on shopping sprees 10,000 times in movies. The reason that guys don't like chick flicks is because it's just the same. They find that it's just the same stuff over and over again, just done in different circumstances. For instance, Princess Diaries 2. It was bad enough watching Princess Diaries. I had to watch the second one. There's this bachelorette party for, the Princess of Genovia, and what are we doing? We're riding on mattresses and drinking juice boxes with a bunch of 14-year-olds. I'm not kidding. It's basically this sugar and spice type plot and screenplay where they just think that if we make everything so sweet and glossy and pink and colorful that it'll get girls wanting to go see it. Now here's the reason that critics, I think, don't like chick flicks these days. Because it's all about the romantic leads. Now, that sounds pretty obvious when it comes to a romance movie. But think about that for a moment. In a lot of romance movies these days, let's talk about a few. A Walk to Remember, Lake House, Definitely Maybe. They're focusing specifically on the main couple. Now, when you're thinking of a casting process, the casting process happens after the script has been written. Now, you can write a script thinking it would be great if the main character was played by actor X, or the main love interest was played by actress Y. That's completely fine. But you can absolutely tell with a lot of movies these days that it's specifically written so that this specific actor or actress can be put opposite of each other, and then they just make the magic happen. And I think that is a terrible idea. It's going to destroy your film. Because if you're going to basically say, I'm writing this so I can see Zac Efron, and what was that? There was some movie I saw a trailer of, because I saw The Vow with a couple of friends of mine the other day. It was a decent, kind of chick flick. But the thing is, you can tell that what was based on a true story was very Hollywoodized. You can tell that it's being very much focusing specifically on seeing Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams make the magic happen. That, they're focusing specifically on these two romantic leads. Now, once again, I'm not saying that, okay, if you don't focus on your romantic leads, then you obviously don't have a romance movie. But that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying is the reason that these romance movies fail. What I'm saying is the best romantic movies are the ones where they don't mainly focus on the romance itself. Because if you do that, then all you've got is a movie about two people and love. Well, that's great for, the 20 people in the audience. There's a lot more people going around in this story than just boyfriend and girlfriend or the husband and wife. Here are some of the best romantic movies I've ever seen. Titanic, Slumdog Millionaire, Shakespeare in Love. Now with that last one, don't let the title fool you. Because those three examples, there's romance. There's great romance in the movies. But the romance is not, you can argue this, I'm not going to say you can't argue this, but in my perspective, the romance is not the only thing. Or it's not the main thing. It's definitely not the only thing, but it's not the main focus of the film. Plenty of stuff that's happening. The problem that I see with romance movies these days is they make it look like they're going for subplots. Like, say, in The Vow, they had this subplot of the wife who had amnesia, her sister is getting married. All they do is show a variety of scenes that's leading up to the wedding. That's not a subplot. That's just showing stuff. There's a difference between focusing on stuff and just saying, oh yeah, that's happening in the background. The reason that the whole rom-com, romantic comedy genre, I think, has taken off so much is because Hollywood realizes that romantic movies just don't cut it. If you just make a romantic movie, if you make the romance swell up and all that stuff, and all of it being about true love and all that stuff, then you're bound to fail. The movie cannot support itself on just being about the romance. That's why romantic comedies were brought in, because the comedy helps soften the blow. If you focus specifically on why these people are in love, instead of just showing it, and it comes all the way back to show, don't tell, but if you focus specifically on the couple, and like if you focus 80% on the couple, and 20% or less, and there's plenty of times where I see less, on everything else that's going on, then you're going to bore the audience to tears. Like, I hope that scriptwriters realize that movies are supposed to be this means of escape for audience members where you take them on this entertaining ride away from their boring, repetitive, mundane lives, and you show them exciting drama and stories. You're trying to make it as relatable, slightly relatable, but mostly as unrelatable as possible by showing them this different realm where things happen that don't normally happen in regular life. So if you say, basically in a nutshell, my movie's about two people who like each other, but they just won't admit it, then are you really going to follow up that sentence with, how many tickets do you want to buy? Why should I go see something that I could be watching my best friend and his girlfriend bickering about on the big screen when I can watch them bicker about it in their living room? And this is what happens in romance movies all the time. They've run out of ideas, so they're just doing stuff that is so relatable that there's no reason to make a movie about it. And the other thing that I'm noticing a lot with romance movies these days, specifically with what we would call chick flicks, is that they're focusing, as I was saying before, they're focusing so much on who they're going to get as the main leads that they don't care about anything else. They pick these actors and actresses it's literally like, you know, remember in high school when you'd have your friends do those random matchups to see, like, you know, your cousin, what it would look like if your cousin married your ex-boyfriend's mother or something like that? It's like that's how Hollywood is thinking of how to match up different actors and actresses. Because they just think, what couple have we not used yet? How about Rachel McAdams and Seth MacFarlane? Or Jessica Alba and Jonah Hill? You see what I'm saying? Like, they think that just because whoever's hot at the time, let's put the hot A and hot B together and that's going to make our movie for us. If that is the forefront of your mind in the script writing, the casting process, your movie's going to suck. Because you're thinking way too far ahead. You're not thinking of how to flesh out your script. You're thinking about how many people are going to go see this to see Justin Timberlake with his shirt off. It's this whole issue of basically just not exploring the things that really matter. I'm going to take one last example. The Lake House. You've got a mailbox that breaks the time-space continuum. Movies have been made revolving around that. Movie series have been made revolving around that. And what are you focusing on? Keanu Reeves' life is about moping at his lake house. Sandra Bullock's life is about moping at her lake house. They happen to live at the same lake house, but just 2 years apart. Yeah, and there's a wormhole in your frigging mailbox. But Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves are so lovely together. Wormhole in your mailbox. I rest my case.